deal with turning loads of things on at once, man? What's your deal?
The boosts.
The boost.
We're boosting the boosts. That's what we're doing. I was waiting for that.
Alright guys, welcome back to Dip Switch Demos, and yet again another video from 42 Gear Street 2. I'm with my buddy Leigh. That's going to become a thing. Leigh, Fuge guitar. Yeah, we're going to check out a slightly bit of a different video going on today.
Yes.
We have 10 of the same pedal on the floor. 10 Friedman Buxom boosts. Kindly set up for us by Dennis from Boutique Amps Distribution.
Yes.
And yeah, he's basically set these up to work with the Friedman small box, which we're running into. Set these up to do 10 different things, show the flexibility and versatility of using a powerful boost like the Buxom boost to get so many different tones from one pedal. I mean, I know we've got 10 of them on the board. I'm not sure anybody's going to have a board like this, but it just shows the flexibility of what we can do.
Yeah, it's a great tone shaping piece of kit, isn't it? Because whatever your rig is, you could just put one of these in. Bit of noise there from the bridge. You could put one of these into your rig, whatever it is, and you can pretty much dial it to whatever you want. And that's really the whole point of this video, is to show how much this boost can do. Yeah,
and then we've got some more extreme settings. We've got some almost like reverse boost settings. So the amp, as you'll hear, is set pretty damn hot. Yes. I think is it cranked?
I think we're on the first channel, which is dimed.
Yes. That's exciting.
Yeah, we're on the first channel.
I think we'll leave it there. We don't need any more than that. So yeah, the amp is absolutely cranked. But the first 3 boosts that we've got here are set almost like a reverse boost to reduce the volume and in turn reduce the gain of the amp.
Yes, we're going from down here, so this is 1 and this is 10, so we're going through this way.
Good man. So the first 3 are like that, and then the last 3 are in the effects loop to, again, show slightly different applications for a boost if you're running an effects loop.
Yeah. It's worth mentioning that the amp EQ is set flat as well.
That is,
so the presence, the bass, let's just make sure they're 100% flat, but those are set, as you can see there, straight up the middle, 5 on the presence, bass, middle, and treble.
Bro.
The channel volume is on 5 as well, but obviously the gain is down.
Yeah.
So that's...
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be a lot of fun. Let's talk about guitars. I've got this Maybach. Do you know what the modern name of the guitar?
I think it's a Lester.
Lester rings a bell. I mean, how good does this look? We haven't got a guitar cam set up, but the checking on this is ridiculous. We have 2 beautiful P90s, which are probably my favourite pickups ever. And then you have this tasty axe.
The Nick Huber PA. Piet?
Yeah, I said Piet, but I'm not good with words.
Yeah,
so.
It's lovely. It's sort of like a Telecaster, Jazzmaster.
Yeah, man, that's a really cool way of putting it, actually. Is it set neck, though?
No.
Oh, it's bolt-on.
Yeah. But look at that.
That's a hefty bolt.
How cool is that?
Yeah, that's
like
mad.
A 5 bolt, but this cutaway is insane because the actual neck is carved in.
I mean,
really cool.
For people who play up there,
yeah,
that's mad. Nice. So, I guess I'll start, and then we'll run through a couple of different things. This is my clean tone, and it's not clean at all. It sounds pretty mad, doesn't it? Hey! So I guess we'll start with the first one here, which, as it says on the little pedal board, it's set up for like an F-style clean. So it's dramatically reducing the volume. We've scooped the mids, and it's actually surprising. I was gobsmacked when Dennis showed us this. So here's the clean, dry signal. It's mad how it just changes the character of it. And the next one is a similar sort of situation, but we're going for a V-style clean. So it's a bit more boxy, a bit more voxy.
Boxy.
Yeah, and it's surprising how close it gets, in my opinion. So as you can hear, it completely changes the characteristic of it.
Yeah.
It's mad, actually.
It is, yeah.
With obviously the Buxom Boost has a 3-band EQ, and that's really where we're getting the power of changing it like that. The next one is another similar thing, but we're going for more Marshall clean,
Yes.
or M-type. Whoops, a daisy. M-type clean. So that changes the character of the amp slightly less, obviously because it's going for the M-type thing. But again, like I said, it's like a reverse boost. It's thinking about using a boost in a different way.
What's really interesting though is the EQ doesn't necessarily correspond to what you think the amp is going to sound like. Because when we think of Marshall or M-style amps...
I don't know what the rules are with that, so let's just loosey-goosey, baby.
the mid on one of those amps is usually quite a prominent mid-range. So obviously on this it looks like the mid is quite low, but really the way that
it's still all there, isn't it?
Yeah, the way that the EQ works though, that Dennis sort of explained it, is that the treble works as a boost and a cut. So when the treble's in the midnight position, that's sort of neutral. So if you dip it down, it takes the treble away, and if you turn it up, it adds treble. But the mid and bass controls are only boost. So when the mid and bass are all the way down, they don't do anything at all.
That explains a lot. So that's really, really interesting.
Yeah, so while it looks like the mid is really low, actually the mid is boosted because it would need to be on 0 like the next pedal here.
And that's the same with the bass control as well.
The bass, yeah,
that's surprising.
I'm pretty sure that's what he said. I'm pretty sure that's what Dennis said.
Awesome. I mean, that makes a lot of sense when we're talking about the mid control, because a lot of these settings are really low. So I suppose we'll move on to the Unity gain one. What did Dennis say about this one again? Is it more of like a? Is it just to show how transparent the pedal is, essentially?
Yeah,
it's not changing anything at all. Do you want to have a go with this one? With the nickel bar? Surprising how transparent the Buxom Boost can be when everything is just flat. Yeah, so the bass and the mid is all the way down, so it's literally doing nothing. Pretty amazing. Shows how clean the circuitry inside there is.
Very, very
do you want to play the next couple as well? Then we've got the Clean Boost, which again is a flat EQ, but we are kind of taking the level up a bit, so it'll be pushing the amp as well.
This one does seem to just have a slight bass kick as well.
Okay, cool. Nice.
Really nice.
I can really hear that bass kick as well, even though it's so slight. It really brings out the bottom end nicely.
It just pushes the amp nicely.
That's my favourite. That's my favourite setting so far, man. Yeah.
Feel the low end sort of kicking in.
Yeah, that's
cool.
Sweet.
Awesome.
Have a go on the treble boost.
That's gonna be a fun one.
Yeah, really cranking out the treble on this. So great for cutting through a mix when you're in a band, or if you just want to really take the treble to the next level. It's really gonna. This was, like you said, it's gonna take your hair off probably. one's great as well, and it's
pretty
got that.
punchy.
Yeah, it's got that little bit of a mid kick as well, which is typical
Yeah.
from a treble boost type pedal. That also sounds great. It suits the plexi style thing as well.
That would try that with the P90.
Yeah, I was actually going to say it's probably going to beefing them up. Yeah, man.
Awesome.
Really interested to hear the difference between the clean and the treble as well.
Yeah.
Let's move on to the modern metal. Now, this seems like it was Dennis's favourite. It seemed like it was the craziest one. So, what does it look like we're doing? Is it just really cranking the front end, basically?
Yeah, I mean, the mid and the bass are down, the treble set neutral, so really it's this tight switch.
Yeah, which I imagine tightens up the bottom end for chugging, essentially.
It's probably like maybe like a resonance control where it just firms up that bottom end, and the boost is obviously quite high, so this is going to hit the front of the amp pretty hard, but I don't think the actual EQ is going to change too much.
No, this is going to be tasty. Shall I do this one?
Go for it.
I'll do this one. What's your deal with turning loads of things on at once, man? What's your deal?
The boosts.
The boost.
The boosting the boosts. That's what we're doing.
That's what people do, man.
What's the point in having 10 boost pedals? We're putting them all on at some point.
That's how we've got to end the video.
Yeah.
I mean, we've got to watch the levels, but we're going to do it, so...
Robin will probably shout at us, but I think we'll be fine.
So the last three are in the effects loop of the small box, is that right?
Yes, that's right.
So, really this gives you more flexibility if you want to actually boost the volume of the amp without pushing the front end into more gain.
Yeah.
That's what the gist that I'm getting from it. We've got, again, 3 different flavours of that, and the last one is something a little tasty, a little special, a little
Yeah,
different.
the last one's a fun one.
So let's go with the volume boost first.
Yeah.
And this is basically just for your solos, I guess. Yeah, really boost that volume up, and the EQ is pretty flat on this one at the moment, but if you really want to stand out in a solo situation, you might want to crank up those mids a little bit. We're not going to do that now because this board is set up for demo purposes. But yeah, and the EQ's flat there, so you've got so much control if you wanted to take that to another level. Scoop EQ.
Yeah, that's going to
be Now, what does that mean to you? What are you expecting? Before we hear it, what do you think is going to...
When I think of a scooped EQ, I think of the typical like American sort of like basement type amps where you've got the lows and the highs are boosted slightly, and you've got that sort of slight dip in the mids. It's pretty much everything I don't think of when I see a black and gold.
Well, that's
amp.
what I was going to say. We're running a lot of gain now.
Yeah.
So when I think of gain and scoop mids, I think of early Metallica and stuff like that. So
definitely.
maybe that's... I mean, we've not heard it yet. Let's hear it and let's have a go. It's
pretty cool.
A little more subtle than I was expecting.
Yeah, it's not like a huge scoop. It's just takes the edge off a little bit.
Yeah, and I think if you were going to go for the Metallica thing, like I was thinking, you'd want to crank that tight knob up a little bit because it was a little flabby in the lower end there because we're boosting a lot of things, but still sound a great sound.
Yeah. The way I'd probably use that is like more of a tone shaping thing. So if I was playing an amp that was probably like an EL34 style amp like this, assuming this has EL34s in, I'd want to maybe bring those mids down a touch to get a bit more of a 6L6 kind of sound.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense actually. Yeah,
especially if I was playing like a Strat or a Tele, you know, to get that, like I was saying like earlier, like a Stevie Ray Vaughan sort of.
Yeah, I'd be interested to hear what that setting sounds like in the front end.
Yeah.
But another great sound. Now the last one is a little bit of fun. Here, can you see it on there? It says old radio. So really, we're essentially. What has he done? Has he cranked everything but the mids and?
The mids are up.
Yeah, the mids are boosted, and so is the treble.
Yeah, the treble's all the way up. The mids are boosted sort of 3/4 of the way, but the bass is on 0.
And the tight is all the way up. So I imagine we're shelving off a lot of that bottom end there.
Yes.
And it's pretty wild. Do you want to go with this one first?
Let's give it a go.
Do it. That's mint.
That's pretty fun.
That's so good, and that's more useful than one might imagine because you know, use it as the introduction to your song in your live set, or use it the verse, and then take it off for the chorus where things explode.
That would be really cool if you played like slide guitar. You could get that really
a bit more old school, maybe a bit of slap back on there.
Yeah,
as well.
like an old 30s and 40s kind of early blues. Because it did have that when I just played that little lead like that.
Yeah, man.
It's kind of lo-fi and...
Yeah, super lo-fi, and those sorts of sounds also work really well with a ton of ambience.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't get in the way of the reverb and stuff. I'd love to have a quick go on that. I think that's how I'd use this pedal.
Yeah,
because it's actually a really musical application of it.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
it's
really awesome,
and it shows off the power of the EQ section as well.
I think EQ is something that people overlook, and I mean, I know I'm guilty of it. I
absolutely
never think in a million years that I'd want an EQ pedal on my pedal board because it almost seems like a waste of a pedal board.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
But
yeah, it's a lot of fun, and you know what we got to do now.
What?
I mean, you know, it was your idea.
If it distorts, it's your problem.
Okay.
There we are.
Let's take it one by one then. I'll play, you turn one. Well, I suppose the first three take it down, so we might be all right.
Yeah, that gives us a little bit of insurance. We're bringing it down first, and then we're gonna.
All right, let's turn the first three off. Let's
keep going.
Man, yeah, let's hope we didn't get too much trouble. Let's hope we didn't break anything. That was mad. Absolutely
that was fun.
Wild. And I think we showed so many different uses for this Buxom boost. That EQ section is pretty wild. At first I was like, you can't cut the bass? Like, why can't you cut the bass? But that tight control is all about sorting out that bass end. And if you want to boost it, feel the bottom end, we're all sorted there.
Yeah.
Really, really loving that pedal.
What a cool pedal. What a really awesome... I'd never think to add something like that to my rig, but I get...
You get it now.
Yeah, I get why that exists, because
Yeah.
that is such a useful tool. And if you're a gigging musician and you normally take a show up at a gig and there's a different rig there to what you normally use, you could literally dial in.
Yeah, it's probably a great pedal if you're using backline amps all the time. You can really get close to your normal sound with that. Ace.
Yeah.
Super, super cool. All right, I think that's pretty much it. Check out Leigh, my buddy Leigh, on his YouTube channel over on Leigh Fuge Guitar. We're going to do plenty more gear videos here at 42 Gear Street. It's been pretty crazy.
And this is just day one.
Crazy. Shit, we're still on day one, man.
Day one.
Oh, yeah, so loads more to come. We're having a great time. Thanks to Henning for having us and sorting out all this crazy stuff. I've said crazy too many times.
Crazy.
All right, guys, thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next one.
See you guys soon.
Nice one, guys.
Cool. Thank you, guys. One more, and then we're out of here.
One and done.
We got 20 minutes. Oh, yeah, 20 minutes. Let's do it.
Right, let's get the fucking thing done.